What up, night owls? How are y'all doing today? Thanks for joining us. A late start. Just saw the conclusion of the U of H and Florida National Championship game. Congratulations to Florida. If y'all don't know, we both attended University of Houston, so of course we were rooting for the Cougs. So go Cougs. Unfortunately, I mean, hell of a season, right? There can only be one
Right,
at the end
true.
of this thing. So put up a fight, um, fought valiantly. At the end of the day, just didn't have enough offense to close it out. Um,
Yeah,
a lot of threes missed. Um, actually, some bunnies layups missed in there as well. So
facts.
um, yeah, I mean there were opportunities. At the end of the day, you can go back and look at the game film for U of H and say we had a chance to do it, weren't able to pull it off. But kudos to them. Like I said, everybody doesn't get to the national championship game, and they were in that thing. So um, successful season overall. Kelvin Sampson, truly underrated coach. I don't think he gets enough props. Um, so yeah, anything else you want to say about the U of H game?
Yeah, the only thing is we can go up because of the recruiting class that we got coming in for next year. We got some emerging guards and stuff like that. We have some returning players. It's going to be sad to miss, LJ Cryer and, Juwan Roberts and players like that, but we still got a lot of good players that's going to be coming back. Uzan's going to emerge. He's going to develop more over the summer, get more immersed in the system, in the culture. Mercy Miller's going to step up and be a big impact for us and stuff like that. We're Who knows? Kelvin Sampson off that season and that strength alone might catch some really good talent in the transfer portal. So we'll see. We might catch lightning in the bottle that way as well. But I mean, overall,
Um,
I'm very
d-
excited.
don't be surprised if Robertson gets the seventh year. That kid from Kansas,
Yeah,
like
Hunter Dickinson
got
just got
he
granted a
got it.
seventh
So,
year.
so you never
Unreal,
know,
bro.
bro. You
Right.
never know.
You never know. But it is what it is. Hopefully, U of H football will tide us over until the basketball season. But you know how that goes right now. We are
Nah,
in turmoil, and we are now a basketball school. Crazy
yeah,
how we
because
started this.
U
When
of
me
H
and Rod
football has been garbage.
when me and Rod started, U of H was for sure a football school. For sure a football school. There's nothing to be done about basketball. It was 15 students, 20 parents, the basketball teams, and the officials, and Aubrey
Right.
Coleman shooting 40 shots. So let's not get into what they was doing then. But
Yeah, it was definitely Art Briles and then Kevin
Tom
Sumlin.
Tom Penders was the
Well, no,
basketball
I'm talking
coach
about
at
on
that
the
time.
I'm talking about on the football
Oh
side.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, for sure.
yeah. Yeah, the football coaches. We actually had some names come through here.
Tom
Tom
Herman.
Herman. Yeah,
Yeah.
man, we had some names, and then they
Yeah.
all thought they could get bigger than their britches and overplayed their hands and went to some Power Five conference schools and got
Renew
run out of
Cour-
them all.
Renew Couture said she had the bread. It started with Sumlin. She said she had the bread to pay that man. He said, "No, I want to do it at A&M." Lost. Better recruits, better, better. You know, better conference. Lost. Didn't have
Yeah,
anything for him. You know what? I'm not gonna be
Herman
bitter about it. They got what they got.
Herman short lived at UT. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
You saw what happened.
yeah. Shout out to this comment prior is coming on. I'm assuming this is a response to the thumbnail for today with Scotty leading off
Yeah.
and the title of the show. But we'll get into some master stuff here a little bit later on. Let's hit the stuff of the week, which actually just wasn't that intriguing to be real. So Valero Texas Open down in San Antonio at TPC ended up being won by Brian Harman. Not very thrilling at the end. Was it Scott Novak? Couldn't quite compete. Struggled down the end. Windy conditions down the stretch. In Texas, spring, it's going to be windy. And this was one of those weekends where storms were coming in town. So, not great conditions for everybody to play in. Again,
Little
Novak
cold
struggled.
pop,
Even, say that again.
little cold pop came in.
Yep. Even Harman shot 3 over par in the final round. Went into the round with the 3 stroke lead, so he was able to just hang on. Um, we can always congratulate winners. Winning is not easy on the professional level at all. So kudos to him for standing strong. But slow play continued to plague him. He's a hard watch. It's hard to avoid it when he's in the final group of the tournament, and you can tell that the competitors are getting irritated. They definitely tried to back the cameras off of direct player views because, again, Novak
Yeah,
was very frustrated. I think at one point in time, Harman started looking around into the trees behind him, and there was no one. It was just weird the way he was doing it, and just not distracted isn't the word, but I don't know. He just seems like a really quirky guy. Backed off quite a few shots going into 18. He was the shortest player off the tee. Took quite a bit of time to decide what he was, going to do in terms of layup. He was 300 out, so definitely wasn't reaching with those wind conditions. But
yeah,
again, Brian Harman, first win since the Open Championship in 2023, where he dominated. But the waggle count was a big thing back then with the slow play. He has improved, but it's still very dreadful. I think the calls for a more aggressive slow play regulations on the PGA Tour. We've talked about it, similar to the LPGA Tour, would be very welcome at this time. What are your thoughts
yeah,
on the weekend at the PGA Tour?
yeah. A couple things. So first of all, interesting that Nowak be in the group after what he had to say, which I agree with what he said. He going back to Torrey Pines when they played Torrey Pines, twice in like 4 weeks or whatever. He was in the field
Mm-hmm.
for that. Had some strong feelings about slow play and what they should be doing about it. They should be broadcasting that list and times and stuff like that. Funny that he was in the group with Harman, who should be on that list, getting exposed for having bad times and everything like that. Secondly, unfortunate that I don't know, bro. It's not to a point where the PGA needs to have a week off before the Masters to completely like give it its full attention. It being the first major, it being Augusta, the all the lore of the Masters and stuff like that. Because I know for sure, yeah, it was a PGA event and there were some highly touted players in there, but this was the week before the Masters. It's not even the Valero Open. It's the week before the Masters, and that's all people were looking forward to. Who flew in the week before? Who's been on the grounds looking around? Who's gonna win? What's the field gonna be like? What's the weather gonna be like? Who got tickets? All kinds of stuff. Everything but the Valero Texas Open. Even though players like Tommy Fleetwood was in there, Matt Wallace was in there. People, a lot of European perennial players that mid-20s official world golf rankings, mid-teens official world golf ranking players. So it was a field worth talking about. But
Matsuyama was in there.
Matsuyama was in there getting some tune in. Well, he don't really miss weeks. So um, just kind of understood he was going to be there. But yeah, I mean, it was plenty of names in there. Just unfortunate that it's the week before the Masters. And unfortunate that Harman won as well. So we had to sit through that.
It's not
Um,
unfortunate. It's not unfortunate. I mean, we're never gonna hate on a man for getting a win. It's just he's not a fun watch. He's one of the problems with the game. It's not unfortunate that he won. It's unfortunate that that's what's representative of the game. That's I think
okay.
I would yeah. I don't want to discourage the
Okay.
person, just the behavior, and especially when there's ways to actually combat it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to say this. Congrats, Brian, and then move on.
Right. We're not haters, right? At the end of the day, that's not the persona. Um, do I have any other? Yeah, that's really it. I mean, it's kind of like you said, ho hum. Everything else was the focus. We'll keep it rolling. Over on the PGA Tour Champions, Angel Cabrera. Um, I did not watch it because I don't like mixed field events with the NFL guys playing. I caught a few shots here and there. Um, it was a busy weekend. I actually went down to Houston, played some delayed golf with Marcus due to him showing up late. But so I was on the road this weekend. Didn't get to sit by TV on a regular schedule. But again, the shots that I caught, I just don't love the mixed events. But they had the NFL veterans mixed in with the Champions Tour. But Angel Cabrera with the 2-shot win, and his, I don't want to say it was his. I think he may have already played an event. I don't think it was his debut event, but after spending time in prison, um, he's reformed, spoken about how his behavior was just, outside of himself. He regrets his behavior that ended him up in prison, which was like harassment of his former partners, and you know, paid his debts to society, released, working himself back into golf. Will actually be in the Masters fields this week as a former champion. Don't expect much from that, but the man
Yeah,
has a real natural move at the ball. Just a really, I mean, I remember watching that Masters year where he won. Um, Great ball striker. I mean, I think we were first starting to play. I can't remember what year that was, but I remember being impressed by his ball striking, and it just looked
yeah,
unique and natural, especially going up against Adam Scott in that playoff. And so, seeing the kind of the natural swinger of the club versus the technically correct swing of Adam Scott, I found myself impressed by Angel Cabrera. So shout out to him for making his way back. What are your thoughts on this?
yeah. I think he played in like an event in Argentina his first week back officially, and then this was his first Champions Tour event. And yeah, I mean, he's still got a very good swing. I mean, he's still like a great ball striker. So if he can just, make a few putts, be on the right side of holes, and hopefully, since he's older and stuff like that, hopefully there's not too much bad weather to where it's playing into like guys who have a longer carry and don't have to really worry about rollout and stuff like that. I think he'll be okay. I think he'll make a name for himself. He should. It's only what 70 players, 68 players, or something like that. Top 55 make the cut. So really, he's only got to beat 12, 13 players to make it into the weekend. Really make
Yeah,
some
VJ
shake.
Singh,
So
VJ Singh just pulled out this week as well. So we'll see if there's any other late entries, but we may have lost one other guy as well.
yeah, I mean they played. I don't know. Now it's going to take some getting used to because they play in some completely different conditions. Playing in Florida, exposed, a lot of wind. Um, Compared to the Masters where it's pretty tree covered, where you're really guessing and looking at the top of trees the whole time. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, glad to have him back in the field. Hopefully he doesn't do any stupid things anymore and continue to play 10 or so more years of Champions Tour golf before he rides off into the sunset or
Yeah.
whatever.
Weather actually looks pretty good for the Masters this week. Pulling up at
Yeah, besides
Augusta
today.
weather. Yeah, and actually, there's some chance of rain on Saturday, but it's
Hmm.
low. It's generally low, just overcast. Looks like the high percentage is 30%, and that could change, that could shift. But Thursday, Friday, 70s and sunny. Sunday is 69 and sunny. Pretty good week of
Good.
weather.
Yeah.
We've had some struggles. We've had some even. I mean, Texas has been hit with some cold fronts here lately. So, um, unseasonably cool days. Sunday was cool here, so you just never know in the South and with weather change what's happening. So that lines up at least for some good viewing. Um, while we're watching this weekend, nothing like the tradition of the Masters. I'm getting hype. It's I think having a quiet week this week was helpful. Not didn't really ingest a lot of golf. It just wasn't
Yeah.
really good. Which will shift over to the LPGA. So match play. You're a big fan of the match play. I'm kind of like ho hum on it. I think the venue kind of makes what how well the match play is. We discussed the Shadow Creek T fee, which was $1,250 last week. I was looking at some of the coverage, and that place looks like a cartoon. It looks like a video game. How pristine that course is, and how well taken
Right.
care of. I was looking at some of those green complexes and tee boxes, and you're just like, are they out there snipping this grass with scissors? It was
It looks so
nuts.
good.
But 1250, I don't know,
No,
bro.
bro.
Still.
Yeah, West Coast,
Um,
West Coast, cost of living. I still don't think it's worth that.
yeah. But anyway, Madeline Sagstrom, thanks for correcting me on the notes, ends up winning over Lauren Coughlin for her second victory on the LPGA, first since 2020. Even though she's been in some high level golf, played on Solheim Cup teams, hadn't hadn't really won in a while.
Yeah.
But she was able to take it. Caught a little bit of her post match interview, very self deprecating. She got asked a real jacked up question from a reporter about her two-way miss, which I thought was it was weird. And the way he phrased it, she's like, ends up saying something to the effect of, I'm not exactly your straightest player, but this week I hit it straight. So seemed like a very lighthearted young lady. It was cool just to see, her pros. PC people outside of the regular element and just the straight right at the green when they've won. I hate those interviews. I kind of like the post round interviews when they're sitting down in front of the full press corps. I think you get a little bit more
Yeah.
out of those. But again, missing the star power in the final. You know, round of 16. You had like Celine Boutier, Angel Yin, who was a winner earlier this year. But other than that, I mean, there weren't a lot of. We know these ladies because we watch and absorb the game, but none of the top build people that we have gotten used to see or have had hot seasons these last few years. How much did
Yeah.
you get to take in of the match play?
The first few days I watched a lot of. Saturday I didn't watch. What was I doing Saturday? Well, I was hanging with the family. But like I don't know, like the coverage was again, it was just in a weird situation. It was in between the Champions Tour. They were trying to force the Corn Ferry Tour. And so like it was like coverage was like from 5 to 8, 6 to 9. It wasn't really a lot of replays on it. They only replayed
Yeah,
it Thursday morning. They replayed Wednesday, the group play and stuff like that. And that's fine. But I wish I could have saw more live. But yeah, I mean, he didn't really have star player, but I think it was good enough. That's what kind of why I like match play is you never know who's gonna win. Like never in a million years would you think Madeline Sagstrom is gonna win the whole event of a match play tournament. She can get some points for the Solheim Cup that she can contribute to a team event, but do I think she has enough grit and grind to make it through a whole event playing 36 on Saturday and Sunday? No, that's why it's refreshing to me to always, keep an eye out for any type of match play and things like that. Um, I mean, Angel Yin, definitely a cold player. Do I think she's overall better than Titical? No, especially not right now. Titical's the number 2 player in the world. I just don't think that she has it like that. But yeah, I mean, Max Sackstrom beat Celine Boutier, Lauren Coughlin beat Arya Jutanagar. Then Sagstrom went and beat Angel Yin. Like 4-2, she beat Angel Yin.
Yeah.
So yeah, you never know what's gonna happen. That's the best part of match play to me. I mean, somebody's always in the fight. Kind of like what happens between you, usually me and you. Sometimes I do some stupid shit, get you back in the match and stuff like that, or you just run away with it, or you
Yeah,
never
it can
know,
go
bro.
either way. I mean, but I don't know. I get it. I get what you're saying, but you still want some names in there. And I think the coverage was unfortunate timing. I do think they were pushing the Corn Ferry stuff, which I actually have a. Again, I like scrolling through Instagram. You catch some random stuff um, about the Corn Ferry event. A guy that James Nicholas, who's breaking down his earnings and how much he was able to
Expenses
net.
and stuff.
Yeah, I think really good content. I enjoyed seeing. He does those quite a bit, and it's
Hmm.
interesting seeing how that breaks down. But yeah, LPGA taking the week off. DP World Tour did not, or they will. LPGA will be taking this week off. Everybody chills for the Masters. DP World Tour did not play last week either. So again, really quiet week. They'll be back um, after that. So let me pull this video up with James Nicholas. I'm assuming you saw it earlier too, right?
Well, I haven't watched it, but I do like his content.
Okay. Here we go. Make sure I'm loaded.
How much I earned as a professional golfer on the Corn Ferry Tour. Last week, we were playing the Club Car Championship at Deer Creek Golf Course at the Landings in Savannah, Georgia. So since it was close, it was a 6-hour drive, we drove our own car up there. So spent $0 on a flight, $0 for a rental car, and $0 for a hotel since we got a host family for last week's event. It was my fiance's aunt, so thank you, Aunt Sandra, for hosting us. It was honestly amazing staying there, on course, on site, so made things super easy. We had a $25 locker fee, spent $120 on lunch on our drive up from Florida to Savannah, then $145 on dinner on our drive back down. Since we left pretty late on Sunday after the round, we stayed the night and spent $156 on hotel for one night, $155 on gas, $420 on groceries and snacks for the course, and we cooked a lot at the house, so that was $420. My caddy's base salary was $1,500 for the week, and he earned a $1,580 bonus for finishing T13, which that payout was $19,750. So that subtracted from the expenses, which were $4,101, subtracted from those earnings of $19,750, left me with an earning of $15,649, which taxes will be taken out, and then things like my sponsors, Icon Pass, Productivity, Tooch, Peppy, Jones, and Grayson, they help out with the expenses for the week too, but I won't get into that just yet. How much I
So I would love to see his later breakdown on how much his sponsorship deals are, especially as a Corn Ferry player.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, I'm just like I said, very interesting and a pretty decent living. I mean, clearly the purses on the Corn Ferry are not as big as the PGA Tour, but to be able to put 15,000 minus taxes in your pocket for a week's worth of work, pretty decent stuff.
right.
Had to go earn it, and I think listening to these kind of always solidifies for me at least what live is missing, right? You having to go out and earn it. You're trying to work yourself up to a higher tour, bigger payouts, more predictable schedule, not having to
Yeah,
travel as much because the Corn Ferry has been in South America. I think they have quite a few South American tournaments set up this year. Um, you know, they might be in Florida one week. They're going to
yeah.
be in their swings aren't as predictable as the PGA Tour. So, but again, I think I've been watching him. I want to say it's going on like close to 3 to 4 years, and
Yeah,
he's a really good
I mean, he's with
content
the
producer. Yeah,
He did the DP World Tour. He was over there making a way. Yeah, he's definitely done it all, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What are your takeaways from content like that, or just his breakdown of costs? Anything surprising or stand out for you?
No, I mean, I think the best part about things like that is the clarity and the honesty. Because I mean, it's just like when Ben Griffith did it that one time last year. He's a PGA
Hmm.
Tour pro. Like, it's not all grit. It's not all glitz and glamour and stuff like that. There's real money being spent. You're not always gonna have sponsor dollars to help you out. Sometimes you're gonna have to come out of your own pocket, and then write it off later as a part of your personal self business or whatever, and then do the taxes about it later. But yeah, I think things like that, it's always good to just know what people are fighting for and what they're fighting against. So um just a really good opportunity to take us in and give us a chance to see what he deals with. So I mean, especially as he's in the top 1%. Although he's on the Corn Ferry Tour, he's still in the top 1% of golfers in the world right now. So
Yeah.
he's still doing a lot better than what we're doing. So him making money or
Yeah.
whatever and stuff like that, it's cool.
No doubt. So just always good on a slow week where there's some additional content to look at, where there's not, again, I wasn't going to review Brian Harmon's bag. Just not very interesting. Titleist guy through and
Yeah.
through. The only thing interesting about the Brian Harmon's were his shafts, and he's using the Tour AD lineup. So and I think he had some Fujikara speeders, but again, not very interesting. That worthy of, I don't know, our attention, and clearly some vitriol with your hate for Brian Harman. So anyway, let's keep it moving into our Masters stuff. Do you want to go menu or shoes first?
Let's do menu
Okay.
because the menu is so Texas.
So Texas. All right. Here is. Can you read this? Because I cannot. I'm gonna throw my glasses on.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. I can read it now. Needed the glasses. So appetizers that Scotty has first: cheeseburger sliders, served Scotty style, which I don't think any of us know what Scotty style is yet. Um, Firecracker shrimp with sweet Thai chili and sriracha mayo. What do you think about these two selections, and what would your two appetizers be?
Let's see. My appetizers, I'd probably do some Southwest egg rolls. And then probably like some dumplings or pot stickers or something like that.
Okay, a little
We're
Asian
going
inspired.
right. Yeah, we're going eclectic taste. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm all for the firecracker shrimp. I'm all for shrimp. Period. Any kind of form of shrimp is always going to be good.
I have become
Um,
obsessed with sriracha mayo here lately. That's some good stuff.
I do like some spicy mayo. Cheeseburger sliders, I don't know. We have that on the menu a lot in a lot of our events for our event season. So
Hmm.
it's kind of past its prime for me
You're
personally.
over it. You're over it.
I'm over it. But a good cheeseburger slider, a good chicken slider, them things still gonna bang. So I get it. You
Yeah.
getting top dollar chefs to make them, they're gonna be good.
Oh, and I missed one. Sorry. Papa Chef's meatball and ravioli bites. Pecorino cheese, tomato basil sauce. That actually sounds pretty good. Meatballs kind of your. It's not just the meatballs, but the ravioli bites. That's an
Hopefully,
interesting.
this has got to be like small, like bite-sized pieces. Because
Right?
if this is like Buca de Peppa size family like
No, no,
portions,
no.
Jesus,
I'm
that's a
going.
lot.
If it's me, I'm going Cajun style. Um,
Okay.
I'm going some boudin balls. That's been a big upset. I've been eating a lot of boudin here lately. We had my fam had some when we were down in Houston. We stopped
Yeah.
on the way back and got some boudin. So I'm going boudin balls. I might mix it up and go with like some type of lobster bisque for like a soup.
Ooh. Yeah.
You know, just
Yeah.
to mix it up.
Nah, that'd be fire.
I wouldn't go full gumbo here, but and then
Right.
offer up some salads. You know, a wedge or you know some kind of decadent salad that you know it's hearty enough to get you started, but not overly filling.
Okay, how about this though? Would you skip the lobster bisque for appetizer and go first course gumbo? Huh?
Mm, it's possible. I
Seafood
mean,
gum
he's
seafood gumbo though, with at least one crab leg in there.
oh yeah, straight papado style.
Yeah, bro. You can't.
Cause
You don't. Some chicken gumbo. Just keep it.
I know
Keep it,
you gotta have the crab leg.
please. Some scrimp, some sausage in there. Please do me right.
I know. Here's Scotty with the Texas style chili on his first course, with cheddar cheese, jalapenos, and corn chips. I dig it. I mean, yeah, you know, we're Texas as hell, so
I'm
I dig
telling you,
I,
I'm with it.
I do dig it. I mean, it's very laid back and chill, but yeah, I think I would throw in the seafood gumbo there.
I like how
And
they're saying corn chips. I like how they're
right.
saying corn chips, bro. It's Fritos. They making Frito pie. Come on, bro. Be for real.
Essentially, it is a fancy Frito pie.
With cheese and
Um,
jalapenos, it's a Frito pie.
okay, do you go regular? Do you go standard Fritos or the Big Dipper Fritos?
Nah, standard, bro. Standard. No big
Okay.
scoops.
Main course for Scotty is the wood-fired cowboy ribeye or blackened redfish. I honestly, ribeye is my favorite cut of steak, and I'm all good with that one. The let's read the underlying family style macaroni and cheese, jalapeno cream corn. That's a hell no for me. Soy glazed Brussels sprouts, chipotle lime roasted sweet potatoes. I am also not a sweet potato
Come on,
person,
bro.
but
This is a force.
it's a force. Okay, so I'm not a fan of cream corn. It's a texture thing for me. Super bizarre. I love Brussels sprouts. Like love Brussels sprouts. Only
Yeah.
thing that's missing, and it could be included in the dish, is a little bit of bacon sprinkles. That completely sets it off.
Facts.
Um, and like I said, I agree with the ribeye. The only change in the fish, because you do have to offer something other than you know, but I would go with sea bass. I'm a sea bass guy. I don't love redfish. So those would be my two substitutions, or you know, one substitution. The sides, I don't know. You probably some kind of mashed potato here. Um,
Yep.
you know, with some kind of cheese in there. All good with the mac and cheese, but maybe continuing my theme of heavy Cajun,
If you doing, I was about to say, if
little
you
bit of
doing Cajun,
lobster,
you gotta do lobster mac.
little bit,
Exactly. You gotta
little
do the
bit of
lobster
lobster
mac.
mac. But
You have to.
yeah, sea bass is my fish, man. I love that flaky fish. What would you choose here?
Okay, so first, so like, I don't know, in my eclectic taste, so we already did Southwest egg rolls. We did the pot stickers. I wouldn't have another. I don't know. Maybe like, oh, my third choice for appetizer would be spinach and artichoke dip.
Okay.
First course, we gotta do. We gotta do. We gotta do a Caesar salad. I don't know. I'm really on Caesar salads.
Okay. Is
We
that
gotta do
enough
a
for a
Caesar
first
salad.
course? Is that enough? Maybe.
Yeah, we gotta keep it light. If we was doing like a lobster bisque or something like that, or like a
Okay.
gumbo, you know. Maybe throw a little grilled chicken on there, something like that. I don't know. Anyways, main course. I gotta go. So I went to this steakhouse maybe like 2 seasons ago. B&B Butchers. They had this Japanese Wagyu skirt steak. I mean,
Mm.
like, brother, Lord, I need that. So that'd be my red meat. And then I need a Parmesan crusted salmon, bro. That's my fish. Uh,
Okay.
and then for sides, we got to do a garlic mash with the skin on, mixed in. Then we're gonna do. You know what? We're gonna do some asparagus. We're gonna season it up real nice. That'll be like my fancy greens.
Okay.
Or you know what? Scratch that. We're gonna do some cream spinach. And do some cream spinach,
Okay.
and then I don't know. I don't know if I
You
have a
know what?
third side.
I'm gonna pull back my mashed potato. Something that I've not had in a while, but always have when I eat it. It's very good. Is scallop potatoes. I'm gonna go scallop potatoes. He-
Yeah,
he- Heavy on the butter, a little bit of Parmesan topping. I think I'm gonna go scallop potatoes.
yeah, you could.
That's just my choice. I don't know. Like I said, my choice.
Yeah.
Um,
I
let's
don't,
get into
what
the
did he?
dessert. Just like go ahead.
No way, bro. There's no way I'm putting cream corn on somebody plate, bro.
It's so gross. I don't.
Bro.
I know he's trying to like jazz it up with the jalapenos, but no, sir. Cream corn is
No can do. Maybe a cob, maybe on the cob, possibly. If you want to work that hard. Exactly. I
I
don't even
mean,
want to.
yeah. For the dessert, warm chocolate chips. What warm chocolate chip skillet cookie with vanilla bean ice cream. Solid pick,
Flawless.
right?
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna go wrong. However, just because it's your choice of master's dinner, I would pick. Usually, I would go key lime pie, but every time I think about this place, I've been talking about Chicago. I don't know, say it multiple times. We went to Chicago a couple years ago, and we had this banana pudding with this kind of I don't know what the process is, but when they like melt sugar on top of it, so it was melted sugar on top of the banana. It was cut thin. There was like a perfectly firm, ripe banana, but not mushy, with that
Yeah.
melted sugar on top. My God, literally the best dessert I've ever had. So I would have whatever that place we went to in Chicago, make that in house for my dinner to for my dessert. What would you choose here?
For dessert, we gotta go. I don't know, man. Look, I feel like it'd be way too basic if I did just like a marble yellow cake with some chocolate frosting on that thing. So we're gonna go big. We're gonna go Cheesecake Factory caramel apple crisp cheesecake. That
That's
shit
good.
is beyond gas.
It
Matter of
hits
fact,
every time.
every time, matter of fact, I'm gonna see Cheesecake Factory this week. At some point, Cheesecake Factory. I'm gonna see you, Cheesecake Factory. I swear to God. Oh my God, it's good every time. So that'd be mine.
It is.
And then if you didn't want cheesecake, you know what? I'd give you an option. If you absolutely didn't want cheesecake, then yes, you could get a brownie with the ice cream.
Okay.
You know
Gotta be
what?
fudge though. Gotta be fudge.
Yeah, or you know what would be crazy if everybody could get a corner piece of the brownie. If you did just like a 4 block.
Pardon, sorry, pardon my language. I was about to go straight F bomb. Nah, man, F them corners. Give
You
me
a
the
middle
middle.
guy? You
Almost
are
straight middle.
you are weird.
straight
You're
middle
weird.
every
Stop,
time.
man.
Y'all can have them edges, literally.
I need a corner
And I
piece.
just made brownies like 2 weeks ago. It wasn't even 2 weeks ago. It was like
Oh.
a full week ago. Hell, if we weren't starting so late, I'd go make brownies tonight. But whatever.
No,
All right,
bro.
good menus. I'm hungry. Even though I've eaten, I'm still hungry
Same.
now. All right, let's get into the Masters shoes. So we did this.
Yeah.
Well, do we do it last year? Yeah.
Did we do Masters or did we do the Players?
I want to
We
say
did the
players
US
was like
Open.
two. I think Masters was last year, and then we did players 2 years ago. Because there were like
Yeah.
some victory tours from Rory that I loved with some gold on there. So here it is with the azaleas. This will be our theme. So right off the bat, I'm gonna hit you 3 in a row, straight Nikes, and I put the Nikes in the order. I'm gonna go ahead and qualify it. I put the Nikes in the order that I think I like the best, and it's also dependent on the shoe. The Infinity Tour 2, I thought this was the most. They all have this azalea theme on the back. They really have been going hard for these Masters. We saw the fuzzy orange theme, which they go all out. I'm very interested about the accessories and the box that they put and include with these. But this is pretty straightforward. The downside to me of these, and really a lot of the shoes on here, is that this is not a shoe I'm wearing week in and week out. So
Right.
it's like you're gonna wear this maybe a few times a year. It's not as committed as the other green and yellow themes that we'll see on the list, but yeah, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so yes, I think this is a good rendition, but also, what do you think of them carrying that same pink across the whole sole and then making the check green? I think that would be a little bit more inclusive and it would make it pop off a little bit more. The black with the flowers and stuff like that doesn't really just ring off to me. But I see like the bottom, it's kind of like that hot pink. Like I like that. Like I
Yeah.
like like the potential of it, like what it could be. But I guess copyrights and they can't be too
Well, they
such and such.
can.
So I get it.
I mean, but the
On the shoes
green
they
is a
can.
little.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the green is. I don't know. The green would throw it off a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting, but I like the shape of the Infinity Tour too.
True.
I think this is the best version of it that they've dropped so far. And 190 is not a bad price. It's actually the cheapest of the Nike Masters releases. So let's keep it rolling through the next one. So while I like the Air Max Plus G in the other colorways, like I love the all white, something about the way this was delineated, and I can probably tell you why. I don't like the sole on this one. I think the hot pink on the sole here messes the shoe up. And I don't
What
love
do you
the
think it should
black.
have been?
I think if they just stayed all white, I would have been fine with that, or maybe even a gray, or carried that black that's kind of in the midsole area of the shoe. Carry that all the way through where it's hot pink. I would have, because then it would have matched the top on the upper. But yeah, that's the only thing that I don't love about it. It just kind of makes it look like a boot of some sort. And then of course the increased price. I mean, you're paying for the air, little extra air bubbles there. 205. It's not offensive. If somebody got it and wore it, I'd probably say it's cool on them. But I've seen the standard version, which I like better than this one. So that's why.
Once again, they
What do
need
you-
green. Once again, they just need the green. I want green. I don't like this black.
You
If
hate
you're
the
gonna
black?
if you're gonna go Masters, go Masters. Go all the way and go for the green, John.
Yeah, I mean, I see where you're coming from, because if you look at the green on the outside with the flowers here, then yeah. But then you have to be real selective. You can't go all green where there's black. That's the thing. So you're gonna have to
No,
make
you
some
go.
other color palette choices.
So on the laces, you keep that. So here's what I do. If we're going full on out, you make the bottom green. You make that little black plate on the bottom green. Then you make the top the laces. You make the laces the hot pink, and then you make the tone white. That way, it's
Yeah,
not too much, but it's also, hey, this is for sure Masters.
yeah, and we'll see if they release. I mean, Nike's been really consistent lately about providing extra laces. And for these special releases, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some kind of extra stuff in the box. So we'll see. I
True.
mean, some content provider out there, or, content creator, will put out what these came with. They'll get it. The shoe isn't even out yet, so you know, we'll see what it looks like at release, and if they include some extra goodies in there to kind of create some variation. But I agree, the black's just weird. Um, and then this is the very last one, the Victory Tour 4. I hate it. I don't like the Victory Tour 4 this year. I just don't like it. Something
Ugh,
about the front of the shoe is just, it looks like an old man shoe, um,
it's
which
boring. It's
is
not
super boring.
enough.
No, it's a bad shoe. I'll be honest. Like, to me, it's
Yeah.
for $210. This looks like what they were putting out about a year or two ago on the base level that was costing people about 150. Um, and then 100 when it would go on sale because these would never sell out. So
Yeah.
it's
Is
like they
this a FootJoy
repurposed another shoe.
Premier?
Right.
Yeah.
It's horrible. So that's a 0 out of 10 for me. You couldn't.
Yeah.
You
Swing
probably
and a
couldn't
miss.
give me this shoe. Yeah, you couldn't
Swing
give
and a
me this
miss,
shoe. So,
brother. Mm-mm.
but Rory will be wearing them. So probably why it's 210. Keep it moving here. So the NoBull shoe. I mean, they're not very imaginative. This is pretty much the consistent shoe style that they put out every single year. They do give some variation. Clearly, the top one's very azalea coated. The bottom one also within theme of the Masters, but it looks like a workout shoe to me versus like a golf shoe. The spike system is not very aggressive for a spikeless shoe. So 149 is reasonable, but I think there's a particular consumer for these. What do you think?
This is the Adidas NMD. It's not a good shoe, period. And if they're going to do this, the grays need to be the gray together. But if you're going to do some crazy shit, you need to do one pink shoe, one green shoe. I don't know.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not a
I
good
get what
shoe
you're
to
saying.
me.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
not
it's
a good
cute.
shoe.
I mean, it works very well for my image here, but overall, but like you said, you need to have like a mixture of them, or
Yeah.
mix the colors within the shoes. I think they could have had something there, but I feel like they just throw golf shoes out as an obligation, but they don't really put a lot of research and development behind these shoes.
Yeah.
So you get what you
Yeah.
get. Um, Out of Sunday Red, we have two offerings here. Already hitting you with that price tag. The
$25
Pioneer
more.
than the yeah than the Premiers. Pioneer Cypress Azalea Gold LE. Crazy long name too. Um, very with Tiger inspiration. Of course, they went all in on their master stuff. They have a lot of apparel as well. I was talking to somebody today
Yep.
about the apparel. The stuff is nice, but am I paying $250 for a fleece hoodie, sir?
No.
Please chill.
No.
And then $275 for a shoe.
No.
I mean, you can wear
No.
it after the Masters because the little line in the middle is green, and you got
I
some
like
green
the
trim on
cream.
the and it's a little bit lighter on some of the renders. It looks like it goes back and forth, but um, I'm not sold. I get it. They're trying to be a lifestyle brand, and people have reviewed the shoes highly in terms of quality, but um, yeah, they need to
If
come
this
down
is
about
the
25 bucks.
50, if this is the only shoe I'm playing, I get it. If this is the only shoe I'm playing, I get it. If I have 3 or 4 different shoes that I'm going between each round and what fit I'm wearing and stuff like that, I'm not paying 275, let alone 250. Now,
Right.
somebody else is paying for them for a gift, or
Or I
again,
get a gift card or something randomly.
right, right, or again, if this is my only shoe that I am playing for the season, okay, I get it. I'll invest in one premium good shoe. But I pay
Yeah.
enough for the Jordans that we wear, the FootJoys that I enjoy. I pay enough already for that. I mean, the Pro SL is 180, close to 200 with tax. The Hyperflex that just came back, they're really making a resurgence. I like the latest edition of them. The
Hmm.
edition that they had with the Flyknit, I couldn't do it. It didn't feel right on my ankle. The heel was
I don't like
ugly.
that. I don't like that top part getting dirty. That feels like
I
it's a
don't
dirt
either.
trap.
It was yuck. This latest rendition that they have out on the tour that JT's been wearing, that Sahith has been wearing, and all the FootJoy, ambassadors and stuff like that. They have, kind of a rendition of it if they're not wearing, the FootJoy
Oh
upper
yeah,
shoe or whatever.
this is their during the week shoe, like kind of practice round shoe.
Yeah, I think it's a good shoe, and I'll pay the 165 or 155 that it is, stock
One
price. Like I'll
one
pay for that.
one 180.
180 for the Hyperflex now. I'll pay
Yeah.
180 out of my own pocket for that. I will. I will. I think that's worth that. Disgusting. Pass. Move on. That is disgusting.
Fine. Okay. And I will say, I don't know why it darkened it up, but this is more of a white leather. It is not that creamy, but it's still 275, and that's heavy green. It's a bad take on an oxtail golf shoe. Um, yeah,
Despicable.
not not for 275. Come on, Tiger. Come on, y'all. Let's get it together. Nobody's buying this. We don't even know the longevity of Sunday Red shoes, right? You know, if you get a F FootJoy Premier, you're getting 3 to 5 of years of heavy wear out of those shoes
Right.
with
Usable.
no problem. We don't know yet long term. This is only their
Bruh.
second season of releasing shoes.
This is a private, this is a 50K initiation fee private club shoe.
Right. Yeah, pass. Not for 275. Sorry. Never. Um New
Same
Balance
shoe.
has quite a few renditions of a master shoe. This was the most masters coated. The Brighton V2. They love doing some master themed stuff. Um I know just from wearing New Balance, this is a functional shoe. However, it's an ugly, very basic shoe.
It's
There's a
ugly.
there's a market out there, but for 109, that is a steal.
Yeah, and it's got the flower print on the inside or
Yeah,
whatever. But
yeah,
it's an ugly shoe.
it is ugly. They went all in
Probably,
laces,
I was about to
green and
say,
yellow in the laces.
yeah, probably the best color combination and color dispersion. Now the build of the shoe just despicable.
And they have, like I said, they have some more aggressive ones, but this one was with the not the insole, but the sock liner. This is the most on theme, so I put this one in the lineup, even though they have quite a few out there. But
Yeah,
109, you can find some takers for that.
yeah, for sure.
The G4 Gallivanter G Lock. I'll be honest. This one's for me. Even at 245, this is my speed because I've been
The
on the
Galvaniner's a
fence
good
about
shoe.
yeah, I've been on the fence about buying the Premier that has a similar shape of this one, the FootJoy Premier,
Yeah.
kind of with the all smooth sides, and the fact that the G4 has their yellow and green on the very bottom, which isn't going to be seen all the time. I could wear this beyond, master season and not feel strange about it. So
Yeah.
shout out to G4, and it's got the kind of camouflage sole, the gray and white. This one's number one on my list.
You know who also has like a FootJoy Premier is shoe now?
Who is that?
Jordan.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The Jordan 5 ADG is their best looking shoe. Now, if they would have came out with a Masters edition, that would have been heat. Heat. Give it a quick gander. Jordan 5 ADG is their best looking shoe.
You're right. I don't know about this white one with all this extra pattern stuff, but
yeah, absolutely not.
it's got a lot of stippling going on, and
yeah, the black one.
That's so Jordan. That is straight Jordan. That he loves doing stuff like that. But if they ever come out with one with the all white with just straight pebbled leather, with the I agree. This is their best ADG so far. Look at them go. Okay.
Right.
I feel it. But yeah, this one's my pick. I know I have a couple more in the list. But this is my pick. What do you think?
Okay.
Your go? 245?
Yeah, I mean,
you think the value's there?
I mean, G4.
It's
G4,
pushing it.
The Gallivanter is 225 as it is, so I'm not exactly just moved like, oh my god, they really like up the price. So I mean, I could possibly.
Okay.
Oh, we have some G4s in the shop. They look good.
And I hear they perform well. I hear they perform very well. So
okay,
it might be time for me to catch them on sale. You can catch some G4s every once in a while on sale.
Yeah.
Let's next slide. So this is the Callaway Coronado V4. I would not personally wear it, but I honestly would not diss somebody if I saw this. Callaway's very interesting with this. Callaway's interesting with they kind of steal some styles because this back heel part with the kind of wavy, that's a straight signature from New Balance. The sole is very much I would give it some Under Armour stuff going on. Unique top sole. So I don't know, but the way you're struggling, you don't give them an A for effort on the colorway.
Look at this shoe. It looks like a mid. Like it looks like it could be a high top basketball shoe. But again, the colorway is there. The color, the dispersion, the design is great. The overall build of the shoe is absolutely terroristic. And that is so bad. Oh my God. Tough. Those are Huff. Anthony, please stop. Please. Oh my God.
And this is the honorable mention. I got these in my text box. So these are from True Linkswear. They're vacay slide green season special for the Masters. I actually dig them.
Yes.
Yeah. And for $69, I was pushing it on slides though.
No,
$69 is on slides.
Well, shit. Nowadays,
the fact that
slides the fact like that 50.
Yeah, the fact that I can get some Air Max slides for the same price, that's overpriced. But I do like it. I like the color. like you said, super comfortable, and True Links Wear actually makes a really good shoe. So I actually know that they're comfortable from my experience with them.
Have to be.
So that is our Masters shoe lineup. Not as many crazy drops this year. Few people bowing out. I hadn't seen anything come out yet from FootJoy yet either. So
Did Puma?
it was weak. It was so weak. I didn't even. I
Mm.
saw something and I was like, nah, y'all didn't commit. Y'all didn't commit
Ricky
enough
didn't
to
make
get up on the list.
Ricky didn't make the field, so they ain't have to try.
I know. And Max out here struggling. So
Yeah.
I know, man. This is a lost season for Max right now.
Yeah, this is a transitional season for Max only. This is growing pains for my boy.
Yeah.
It's just it's bad because he's doubling the trouble. Not only is he going through swing changes, he's going through new clubs. And you can
yeah.
say the clubs are the same and they don't look much different, they perform the same as much as you would like. You can say that. But it's still going to take some time to get fully acclimated to that.
Yeah. It's
How
rough.
much they want to say it?
Look at us, got an hour in. What else you got before we anything else from the Masters? Well, let's just talk about the picks so far. Or your picks going into the Masters. I'm
Yeah,
going super
wait.
I'm going super safe. I'm gonna go back to this comment. Um, we hadn't seen Xander play a lot of golf so far this year. Um, what do you think? Handicap the
What did
field.
what did we say? What do you still have that handy?
What's
What
that?
were our picks? What were our picks?
Oh, it's downstairs. I think I picked. I think I went Scotty. Can you talk? Can you entertain while I go grab my picks?
Yes.
Okay,
So,
you got it.
um, so for this week at the Masters, I think really with the conditions being as good as they are, I think that DeChambeau, I don't know about that, Antho. I don't know. Sometimes his length gets him into trouble. Pause. Um, I don't know about that because last year he had a chance. He got out strong, but every now and again, the rate of spin that he comes into greens with definitely doesn't hold the greens, especially at like a place like Augusta, where the greens are rolling like 14 on the stem, and they're all sloped and angled, kind of funny. I don't know if he makes it around the course like that, but like, do I think a live golfer could make a push? Yeah, I think like a Joaquin Neiman. I mean, he's their top player for sure. I think I don't know. Phil's always in contention. If he's, not an old man, I think he'll be all right. Could be, but I don't know, bro. I feel like this is one of the most wide open Masters it's been. Scotty's not really coming off the best form. Now, did he show something at the Houston Open 2 weeks ago? Hell yeah. I mean, he definitely made a crazy push, shot a 62. Then on Sunday, shot a 63 to get that T second. Um, it could really be anybody. It really could. Um, I think it's probably Phil would really need to lock in for like a season and feel like he's back in prime Phil shot shaping mode for him to actually like contend, and consistently contend. Because I think right now he's in captain mode, he's in ambassador mode with live golf and stuff like that. He don't really got a lot going on as far as his golf game goes. He's a captain, so he's gonna always be like his spot is gonna be safe on live. Now, Minwoo Lee, I don't know. He won in Houston, but I just don't think I'm not a real big proponent for people winning in back-to-back weeks that they play. That's one of the toughest things to do. That's winning in back-to-back weeks. That's the same as shooting a back-to-back low rounds. Everybody that like Scotty, perfect example. Scotty shot 62, then his next round was like a 70 or a 69 or whatever like that. He still went under par, but he didn't really do what he was supposed to do. You don't even have your green screen on. You don't have
I
your
know
green
it's
screen.
struggling. It's struggling. I know. It
What you
won't
got
pick it
going
back up.
on?
Usually it picks back up. Hold on.
I mean, hopefully Minwoo Lee at least contends. I think he makes the cut. I think he gets a top 15 out of it. This is first time in the majors. Or not in the majors, I'm sorry. This is first time at the Masters. So Masters, there's only been like, I want to say in the history of it, maybe 2 or 3 first time players that have won the Masters on their first go around. So I don't know. I don't know if that
All right.
happens. I don't know if
So
that happens.
as I thought, I had picked Scotty on my list. You ready for your pick? See if you still stand by it.
Oh my
Justin
God.
Thomas.
Did I say something? Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I thought I said something like stupid. I thought I said something like stupid.
So you good
Okay.
with the JT pick?
I'm good with JT. I'm good with JT. At least those first couple of rounds, he always competes. You get to the weekend, you never know. He might fall off the side of the planet. But he always shoots like a 68, 69 on that first round. And I think JT's problem is he be getting in trouble as far as like bogeys go and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He don't ever just score low and then stay low. He gonna get into trouble.
He's gonna have
He
a
gonna
blow
have
up
some
hole.
bogeys. Yeah. He gonna have a double mix in there. He gonna have a triple, one or the other. Okay, all right. I'm not unopposed to JT to a
Okay.
JT pick.
Okay.
I must have
Well,
really. This was at
You
the
must
end
have
of the
been
year. I
high on
must have
him.
really been. Yeah, I was really on this high horse from maybe the World Golf Challenge or whatever, in the Bahamas or whatever.
Okay. What a
Because was it
difference a
not that
few months
week?
make. I'm trying to see when I kind of timed it out. It was
Or like the
definitely
week after?
it was definitely a slow week because we were talking we were it was after the turn of the year for sure, but very early on in the season. I don't even think we had hit the century,
The century.
as of yet.
Yeah. Believable.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. It's coming up. Yeah, I'm excited. We are traveling this weekend, but I'm gonna definitely have the mobile viewing ready to go. Masters app,
Yeah.
best app out there. You will get so
Free.
much coverage for free. You can listen to it, you can watch it on demand. Legitimately, the best golf app out there across the board for
Yep. I
viewing
got it
anything
downloaded
golf.
already.
Yeah, I keep it on the phone. So, anything else you want to hit before we sign off?
Yeah, the Mavs should have lost. The Mavs should have just kept losing.
It's too late now.
We're in the
I,
play-in.
I think, yeah. Phoenix hasn't officially been eliminated, but they're 2.5 games back.
Yeah, bro. It's terrible.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yep. And then Sacramento
as well,
won today. Yuck.
Might as well play hard now since you're locked in, you're probably locked into the play-in game. So
Yeah, you got AD. You just got to ride the horse. Hopefully he's healthy. I don't know.
yeah, and hopefully Clay gets hot.
Right. Hopefully he gets his act together. Lord Jesus.
Yeah. I'm telling you, he's in a state of depression. You come here to potentially win a championship and
with
you know
Luca.
get the rug pulled out from underneath you. So, all right, y'all. Appreciate you joining us. We will catch y'all next Monday after the Masters. Hopefully, it's a good one, and we'll definitely enjoy it. It's never a bad time. First major of the year, got here what feels like super fast. So,
Super.
Bearded Bros Golf Show. I'm Rod.
I'm Marcus. We'll be back at
Catch
our
y'all next
regular
week.
time, y'all.
Yeah.
Not at bedtime.